Hey everyone, it's Naiharo here, and I'm sitting with who am I with?
I'm Chris Birch from Modiphius. I'm a co-founder with my wife Rita.
Oh, that's awesome. So we have already talked once, and I just want to say thank you. Your team is really great and helped us in a better audio environment.
Amazing. They do all the hard work.
So can you tell me a little bit about just your overall product line here? If you wouldn't mind?
Well, I mean, Modiphius is most well known for role-playing games. So we started with Axe and Cthulhu, the Conan role-playing game, the Infinity role-playing game based on Corvus Belli's sci-fi miniatures game, the John Carter role-playing game, the Star Trek Adventures role-playing game, the Fallout role-playing game, the Dune role-playing game.
Yeah, looking over at all your selections.
Yeah, there's
a lot of recognizable IP.
And then we help distribute other people's like smaller indie role-playing games. If you go on our website, you'll also see Freely. We help Freely get started with Meeting Zero, and now they've grown into this amazing, wonderful company. We're all friends.
Okay.
And then we also do miniatures now. So last 3 or 4 years, we launched the Fallout Wasteland Warfare miniatures game, and which is a big skirmish game with solo co-op rules. And then the Elder Scrolls Call to Arms miniatures game, also with solo co-op rules. So we've kind of grown into miniatures games as well. And then we did the Skyrim board game. Huge. Yeah. Too much sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, we clearly love games. We love, a lot of stuff. Well, everything we do is something we love. We care about it. We're super fans of the business.
I feel like there's no way to fake that.
Yeah.
I feel like it comes through.
There's no point doing something you don't love. It's like, I mean, because there's plenty of jobs you can do where you can earn a lot more money than board games and toy soldiers. So you've got to do something that you really care about.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. And for those watching, Kiku with Vassen is who we just talked to that is also from Freely.
Yeah, they're amazing. They're super nice guys.
I haven't got to meet a lot of them. Kiku seems awesome.
Yeah.
Seems amazing. Cool. So this is something I ask. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Let me talk about this. So you have a new game we're promoting here.
So Dreams and Machines is a new role-playing game to add to that family. Uses the same 2D20 role-playing system. It's something I've been working on for about 7 years. So it's a feel-good, post-apocalyptic sci-fi world.
Okay.
And the premise is we're on a colony, far away, cut off from Earth. 200 years ago, we bombed our own world into the Dark Ages because the AI that controlled all these big mechs turned on us, got corrupted for reasons, and was trying to kill us. And so we destroyed our world to shut it down. And now we've been rebuilding. Everyone's working together. So you've got archivists who want to rebuild the world.
This is not grimdark.
No,
there's a lot of that out there. This is the antithesis.
You've got plenty of grimdark.
Yeah.
I mean, also, the world's a pretty grimdark place as it is.
It can be.
So we just really wanted to do something uplifting, feel good, where everyone's trying to work together to rebuild the world. Maybe in different ways, but they're not trying to, screw each other over for a pint of water. This is a world where there are big threats, big dangers, big mysteries. We're going to be exploring ancient ruins of 10-mile-high cities, sort of crazy futuristic bunkers. So it's the ruins of a very high-tech world where they could build things from an atomic level, like kind of 3D printing. They could, they had massive orbital space stations. And there was vast numbers of colonies connected by gateways.
I want to play this in a TTRPG now.
Great. And also the rules I feel good. So in our game, you don't get what we call it growth, but let's say XP from killing things, from destroying machines.
Okay.
You get XP when you run out of hit points, spirit in our world, and you have to get up again. Or you help someone get up. Because we all learn when we make mistakes, right? You learn when you make a mistake and you learn from it, you get up and you get going again.
You're shooting a video a second time.
Yeah, there you go. So and so it's got this, you're incentivized to put yourself in danger or to take a risk in a scene where you might lose your spirit. Because you're going to get XP and you're incentivized to help people get up off the ground. We also have rivals. So if someone is a rival to you and they're successful in front of you, you're like, oh, God, right, I need to get up. And so, it's all about the relationships you have with each other. You have long-term, short-term goals. So maybe you want to get married and settle down. You want to keep risking your life, until you're like an old guy.
Yeah.
You want to find a partner, get enough money from adventuring to buy a farm and settle down. Every time you do one of those things, you get a massive boost of growth of XP.
Okay.
So you're going to be really powerful. But when you've done all your short-term goals, it's like, okay, guys, like after the next adventure, I'm out. I'm going to marry Julie. Like we're going to have kids.
Yeah.
So, but what that means is when you retire that character, you unlock really, really crazy, cool, powerful archetypes.
Okay.
And not available to anyone until you die or retire. And so you get to spend half the XP on that character. And then what's really cool is your character you retire becomes part of your community, part of the reason you're defending your community. Like, look, we've got to take this mech out, like, because Junior and her kids just live down the road, like,
yeah.
And so you're now putting down roots in this community that you need to trade for them, you need to build them up, so we will have settlement building rules, but we don't need rules to make you care about people. Like, the whole point is you want to move on, try new characters, and you're going to build up as the group grows and expands. You're going to build up this like little pool of kind of previous player characters, now NPCs. You can go to them for help. They'll give you tech. They'll give you information. Once in a while, they'll come out and help you in an adventure because they're like, okay, you losers. If you need some experience help, I'll come, but that's it.
Yeah.
And you better pay me. So that's that really nice kind of community building aspect to it. You can elect to die. You don't die by accident in the game. Like I said, you go down. You're despairing. You're breathless. You're kind of taken out of the action until someone helps you. And they get XP for it. Remember. But if this is like a really like hard scene, there's this big machine or monster that's really tough. You can be like, guys, like I'm going to sacrifice myself here. Like this is like if someone doesn't, this is it.
Okay.
So the town's just down there. Our friends, we've got to stop it here. So you get a massive boost of power, resources, extra spirit. Which is you use your spirit to absorb wounds. You use your spirit to buy extra dice. So, but if you get taken out, that's it. You're out. But now you unlock the super cool advanced archetypes again. Okay. You get half the XP of the character that passed away to spend on your new character, and that character becomes a really key memory for the group. Okay. So when you're down and everyone's like, "Oh, this is it, it's all over," you can go, "Look, we can't let Chris's sacrifice go in vain. We've got to get up." And that's that moment in the movie when everyone gets up fighting in slow motion, and you're like, "Yeah!" So you've got these really nice touches.
These are the kind of things you'll be remembering for weeks and months to come about this
exactly,
event.
Yeah. And again, it's that I'm a glass half full kind of guy. Yeah. So it's again, you'll see that it's you can see the positive in loss. You can see the positive in failure. That there is always something to remember about people who've sacrificed for you. There's something important and beneficial from failing. Failing is not a bad thing because you learn from it, you get up, and you build relationships with the people who helped you get up again, and you helped get up.
I love this picture of the world. I hope we can bring this to reality.
Sure,
and, make the world.
Yeah,
that's really awesome. If I can, I don't want to keep it.
Right.
You gotta go. So I on my PC channel I cover Elder Scrolls Online.
Right. Okay.
Just briefly, just super briefly.
So Skyrim is basically a light RPG in a box.
Story.
And the joke about it is, can we just play one more turn? So it's a kind of like a legacy game, but you don't tear up the components as you make decisions and choose quests. And then when you complete a quest, you get two choices, go kind of left or right, and then that might lead to more choices. So as you can imagine, you get this like pyramid of options that grows and grows and grows, and it brings you together for a big finale. So you're going to be moving around a map of Skyrim with your miniature, your hero. You can pick any of the obvious races. Are you a Khajiit, but with heavy armour, or a Khajiit with the leather armour who's all about stabbing people, or are you the Nord with the heavy armour and a spell? With a battle axe, so it's just like Skyrim. You've got all that variety, and they're all cool choices. And depending on your starting story, think of it like a pyramid. You might start on 4 sides of a pyramid, and then you've got the whole period to climb up to the finale. So I've demoed this like 35 times, and I don't get bored. I'm like happy to demo it. I know it's different every single time. Even if I have the same starting story, I make some different choices, the different quests I get, the side quests. This is a game where you get distracted, just like Skyrim. Like, you know, the moment you get talking to some dude, he's like, oh, I lost my phone in the woods, can you go? And then before you know it, you're 400 miles in the opposite direction, and you're meant to get to this dungeon. This is just the same.
Okay.
The base scenario you play for, like, is designed for 40 minutes to an hour. I've played it for 5 hours multiple times. Because everyone's like, oh, wait, I don't want to do the last thing. Can we just we do another dungeon? Because I want to level up. I've got this cool ability I want to get. And I've got this amazing sword I just found. Can we just do something more? So it's very easy to just keep going. The game doesn't force you or punish you to finish. It's like there's a way to kind of manage the threat that's building up. And it's super fun if you love narrative games with a story that unfolds. There's lots of like little Easter eggs for Skyrim fans in there, like characters that you'll remember. You know, people who took an arrow. You meet the guard who took an arrow to the knee, for example. You know, a lot of the companions you're going to meet. You meet them early on when they are adventurers. You know, the characters like that.
So stories build.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it starts with the story of the Blades, so it's a prequel to Skyrim. So the first, there's actually 2 big campaigns, 3 scenarios per campaign. So the first campaign is set before the Dragon Ball turns up, and then the second campaign is set during the time of the Dragon Ball, and you kind of hear about things going on that you know relate to the Dragon Ball. And then we have an expansion called the Dawn Guard, which, no surprise, lets you play members of the Dawn Guard, but if you make certain decisions, you might become a vampire. And now, you're kind of like at loggerheads, like, because you want Castle Volkenhard to win out, or you want the Dawn Guard to win out, but you've still got to find common ground and work together to defeat the big enemy. Just like in the video game, you know, you rescue the vampire girl and you turn up on Dawn Guard and they're like, she's a vampire. It's like, yeah, but she's my mate. It's okay.
Well, you know, we're all nerds. So last question I was going to ask everybody. What got you into it? Clearly you have a passion for this. I want to play all your games just talking to you right now. Because it sounds like you know, it's a labor of love.
Yeah.
What got you into the games? To the nerd culture?
Well, video games was the Atari. I was playing Space Invaders, and then Gauntlet. Remember the old Gauntlet?
Oh, I love Gauntlet. Game? I love Gauntlet.
Yeah.
I tell people, I'm like, oh, have you played? You know, do you know about? And people are like, what?
Yeah. Wizard is about to die.
The wizard is it?
Yeah. And so that was, I love that. But of course, Dungeons and Dragons, probably about age 8. I played Steve Jackson's Ogre, the little hex war game with the big cyber tank. I mean, just stuff like that. I fell in love with it as a kid. And then grew up playing 15mm Napoleonics and English Civil War games, 25mm fantasy battles with old Citadel miniatures, back when they were actually 25mm scale. And so, you know, I grew up with my granddad had a bookstore, comic book shop, and so I would go and help at weekends. I'd come back with shopping bags full of Weird War, Sergeant Rock, famous for the Spider-Man, you know, you name it, and all the old classic like Isaac Asimov, Foundation books, John Carter books, Conan books, Thongor Against the God. I mean, all that kind of wonderful old 70s and 80s stuff. So that was my second education, you know, that I put myself through the geek education of kind of just falling in love with, you know, great sci-fi stories, great fantasy stories. And so, you know, it was kind of, I just fell into this world. And then when I got the chance to start creating, I did my first game was Star Blazer Adventures, which is a 636-page Fate rule set.
So you started light.
Oh yeah, I went all in. My thing with that is like there was like, you don't need another book after this. This is all the supplements and the core book in one go. This is all you need. It was like it was based on Spirit of the Century. It's got a space opera. It's based on a British series of comics that were like pre-2000 AD with like Chris Foss style cover art. It's great. I did that for Cubicle 7. And then, you know, we started Modiphius and here we are.
I mean, and after talking to you, I want to buy everything you have. I'm sure the audience sees that too. But,
Great.
I don't want to keep you. It's been a great con. I appreciate you guys so much.
No problem.
Thank you for taking
Thanks
the
a lot.
time to chat with me.
Great to see you again.
Yeah, cheers.
All right.
Catch you guys in the next.